Okay, cool. So, okay. So, okay. So, go ahead.
What up?
It's been a long time.
So it has been a long time since we've recorded anything.
We were taking a break.
Oh, but in this video we will be talking a little bit about stereotypes and what non-believers think about believers and about what believers think about non-believers, if that makes sense.
We've both been there.
Yeah.
But like Liz has experienced not being a Christian and that side of it, and then I've grown up as a Christian, and then now that I'm closer to God and more firm in my walk with God, then I've experienced that side of it as well.
I'll say just a tiny bit about myself. I grew up Catholic. I didn't grow up Christian. I went through everything that there is for a Catholic to do, catechism classes, first communion, confirmation, the whole shabab. I was doing it because I didn't really know.
Because that's what you had to do.
Because that's what I had to do, and that's what my family had always done. So I didn't really know why I was doing it. I did learn a lot, but I wasn't there. Like, I wasn't making it a priority. I was just going to these classes and memorizing what I had to memorize. But my relationship with God was never there. I remember having a lot of, not arguments, but just difference in opinions with people, even from my family, who were Christians.
On Christians?
Yeah, because they were Christians and I was Catholic. I didn't know where they were coming from. So I was very, I had built up this wall, which is what I do with everything. Like, I build up this wall and...
Really?
And I kind of just don't let anything in, even though they're trying to...
You should work for Trump.
Even though they were trying to tell me where they were coming from, I was just kind of like, nah, you're dumb. It's not that I was trying to push it away or try to push the idea aside. It's just that I didn't know. And I never really said anything negative about Christians when I wasn't one. It was just more like, that's okay. Like, that you know, like,
that's you.
That's you. That's
you
not me.
I'm not interested.
Yeah. It was just more like, no, you know, I get it, but it's just not for me. So I came to the conclusion that there's a lot of miscommunication between believers and non-believers.
Misinterpretation.
Yeah, and misinterpretation, because a lot of non-believers see Christians as maybe these holy people where they can never do anything wrong, or maybe that they claim to do nothing wrong, but
and that's all they do.
And that's all they do.
Is wrong.
Like behind closed doors. And they just don't want to be that. What I would say is to the non-believers is to just maybe give it a chance and hear where they're coming from and try to understand. Don't block yourself from it. Just kind of understand where they're coming from and kind of be open to the idea about it. It's not that, people are trying to talk about it constantly. It's just that it's not like anything that you've ever experienced.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that the hard way.
And people want to talk about things that they're passionate about.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're passionate about cars, you always want to talk about cars. If you're passionate about boxing, if you're passionate about fitness, if you're passionate about music, there's people like us and others who are passionate about God. And we can go hours talking about it to whoever wants to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that Christians try to be annoying. Maybe some do, but some of us just really want to share with you what our passion is and why we have that passion.
Right. So one of the girls at our church over the weekend, she preached, and she talked about this really good analogy that that I really liked, and I thought it was a really good example for something like this. I like chips. She likes chips. We all like chips. A lot. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us do. So imagine that you're eating a bag of chips and that's all you do. You just eat them regularly. You're watching TV, whatever. But then here comes your other friend, which is in this case her, because she puts like
all
Valentina
sorts of crap in my
like
chips.
lemon. She puts all these things in her chips, and she tells me that it's really good. She's just like, you have to try it, this and that, and I'm just kind of like, no, I like my regular old chips. I'll stick to these. I'm good. But then the one time that maybe they're there, or she does offer them to me, and I just try them out, I'm like, oh my god, this is so amazing! Like, these
And then
chips
I'm
are
like,
good.
I told you so.
Which is what happens with like every Netflix show.
Yes. Don't ever recommend Liz to watch anything because she won't watch it.
And then like a year later, I'll watch it and I'll be like, oh my god, this is so good.
And I'm just like, I can't. I don't even want to hear about it.
So then when you just start to taste chips with like lemon or Valentina or whatever it is, you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. And you're like, okay,
You've been missing out.
You've been missing out. Like this is basically what it is. Although whether it's for you or whether it's not for you, just, I mean, what do you have to lose?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just try it.
So I grew up a Christian, and I've always been a Christian, and I will always be a Christian. But so I got a lot of heat. I didn't get a lot of heat growing up because I did live a double life for a while. So people were kind of just going with the flow, like she's no different or stuff like that. But now that my walk is stronger with God and stuff like that, now you hear more comments. And you hear them from people that you don't even expect, like family members or people from work. And it's always petty comments like, oh, that Christian, or oh, you're a Christian, or you're listening to this type of music, but I thought you were a Christian, or oh, you're gonna do this? Was that what a Christian would do? Like, oh. I can't with those comments. I've learned to just keep my mouth shut and walk away. But people who are not Christians, and a lot of you might not be Christians that are watching this video, like, who's the judgmental one in that scenario? I mean, am I the judgmental one, the Christian one just living her life, or are you the judgmental one saying that, oh, because you're a Christian you should be doing this and that? I mean, it's hard to put yourself in my shoes or a Christian's shoes, because you automatically already think that we're judging you just because we don't agree with your lifestyle or certain things that you believe in. There's no judgment going on. We just don't agree with it. Like, I don't understand that. I feel like society, especially nowadays, especially with our generation, has placed this whole thing on Christianity that we're judgmental liars who just want people to believe what we want to believe. And obviously, yeah, we do want people to know God's truth and the Word of God, because that is what we believe. But if you don't believe in that, that's okay. That's your life. We're not judging you. We're not going to try to, force you to change. All we're going to do is show love, but that doesn't mean that we agree. And I think that that's okay. If I don't agree what you're doing and you don't agree what I'm doing, can't we still get along and go out to eat? Or does it have to be like, oh, she's a Christian, she's, this and this and that? I've heard so many comments like that. It's ridiculous how many people talk very low, like Christian this and Christian that, and it's almost like laughable. It's like, wow, I don't understand why you say that Christians are judgmental when you're sitting here judging me because I'm a Christian. It doesn't make any sense. But people don't really see it that way. They just see it as we're the different ones, or we're the judgmental ones.
Nowadays, a lot of people try to promote, like, stand out and stand up for what you believe in. The society promotes that so much because we want our voices to be heard.
Yeah.
But then an incident comes where Christians are trying to get their voice to be heard. Then they're like, we become the bad guys all of a sudden because we're stating what we believe in. Just like the Chick-fil-A incident that happened a long time ago. I think it was 2012. I don't know. They made a comment, they made a statement, and then all of a sudden they were getting all this backlash because they were the bad guys for standing up for what they believe in. And it's like, it doesn't mean that we hate a certain group of people. It just means that, they just don't agree with it. Well,
there's nothing wrong with it. Just don't eat there. Like how she said, if somebody who owns the restaurant, like Chick-fil-A, wants to say, I don't support this, that's fine. Why do they have to agree with everybody?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah. That's not how a lot of Christians see non-believers. It's not that we're judging them. It's not that we're against people. It's just that we have our certain beliefs, and we are simply standing up for what we believe in. Like that.
Just like you're standing up for what you believe in.
Yeah. And that's okay. Like, believe me, that's okay. You can still get along with people. I still get along with people. I have really good friends who aren't Christians, who are from a certain community or from a certain there's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. You can still get along with people, because in the Bible it does also state that we should love one another as He has loved us. So
love the sinner, hate the sin.
Yeah.
That is what we should all live by, because ultimately we're all sinners, all of us, and we should love each other. We should support one another. We should uplift each other and motivate each other to move forward in life. That doesn't mean that we have to love or accept what you do, and just as much as you don't have to love or accept what we believe in. But why does there have to be so much hate toward the Christian faith? And obviously this is just speaking from where we're coming from. I know a lot of people who would be watching this would be like, oh, well, you don't know all the Christians. Or, I know there's a lot of Christians out there that are pretty crazy. Like, I know. There's a lot of religion out there. There's a lot of bad talk. There is a lot of judgmental people. There is. We agree with that. But not everybody's like that. And what we're trying to say is not necessarily to go up to every Christian and trust them and trust that they're not going to judge you. But what we're saying is that before you judge a Christian, you should try what we believe in. You should give God a chance. You should give His love a chance. You should give His grace a chance. You should give that lifestyle a chance. And I'm just so certain that if you do it the right way, you hook up with the right people, with the right Christians, you're not going to go back. Because having a bag of hot Cheetos with lemon and Valentina, you don't go back to a regular bag of hot Cheetos. You don't. So.
Oh.
Alright.
We get lit.
What?
We do. We really do.
Oh my gosh.